OK, let's head back to Barcelona for more. From day 2 of F1 testing, Rachel Brooks is at the Circuit de Catalunya. Afternoon, Rachel. What can we read into the changes at McLaren?
Well, Rachel, first of all, I'll just apologise for the salubrious backdrop I've got here at the Circuit de Catalunya, but we've just been speaking to Sergio Perez, which you'll be able to see a little bit later on, and he's just doing his media interviews to our right. So I've stepped out to talk to you now. These changes at McLaren. It was interesting yesterday morning when I spoke to Eric Boulier, who's the racing director at the team, and I asked him what his first impressions were of the car, and his response straight away was not good enough. And we know they had problems last season. We know that McLaren were way down on where they wanted to be in the field, and performance was the issue, and that performance comes from the power unit, which is a Honda power unit. So it seems that over the winter a lot of work has been done. You'll hear from Fernando Alonso in just one moment on that. But in terms of actually getting what they want from it, there have been some changes made. Now, Honda assure us that this is, they annually review positions, they annually move people around, and that the man in charge of this F1 project for Honda, Yasuhisa Arai, has stepped down. He's going to be taking more of a behind-the-scenes role, and the new man is in charge who's heading up the Honda F1 project. He'll be the leader of this, and it's Yusuke Hasegawa. Now, they've both been at the track today. We saw them both earlier, and there's very much a handover going on from Yasuhisa Arai to Yusuke Hasegawa, and they're talking today. They're looking at the car and seeing how it performs on track, and if it is an improvement on last season's car, which it would appear to be, because today Fernando Alonso completed 119 laps in that McLaren car. That's more than he managed in the whole of last winter's testing put together. And I've just been speaking to him just now, and there had been rumours that if he wasn't happy with this car when he got his testing, that he might take a sabbatical and take a year out from Formula One. So my first question to him was obviously whether or not this car was going to be good enough for him to be on the grid in Australia. Fernando, a day in the car, will you be racing it this year?
Yes.
Why? What have you seen today?
Well, I think it was a positive day. I think first thing to do in winter testing is to understand the package, and there are some innovative things in the car, especially for us in terms of aerodynamics and in terms of power unit, and all of them they need time to mature the project and to become stronger. And things that we missed a lot last year, that we arrived in race 5 or race 6 and still discover little things. I think between yesterday with Jenson and today, the car did enough laps to have the first touch and the first understanding.
So you got 119 laps, that's more than you got in the whole of winter testing last year. How are you feeling going into this season then? Have you got a car that competes? Are you still going to have deployment issues? What's your feeling?
Let's see. I think first thing is to improve some of the reliability issues that we had last year. So I'm very proud of the team, the job that they have done in the winter. And now second step is to find the performance. But last year we could not do any of the things because we didn't have any. So I think at least one of them seems on the right direction. And the second thing, the performance, I'm sure that it will arrive because McLaren, know how to produce a fast car, and Honda, whatever time it takes, it will produce a powerful engine. So, I think it's a question of time when we'll be super competitive, and let's hope that we are at least competitive. I don't know if super, but at least competitive.
Happy tonight?
Yes.
Well, Fernando Alonso's happy. Also happy tonight, I imagine, would be Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel topped the timesheets, but let's just quantify that because he was on the brand new ultra-soft tyres. These have the purple markings on them. They're new for 2016, and they are the softest and, in theory, the fastest compound that we will see on the track. But they don't last very long. They'll only last for a few laps when they are put on. So it's a case of using them to their best when you do put them on your car. Now, Ferrari tried them today. Daniel Ricciardo was the very first man to go out on them, though, earlier on in the day and try those tyres on track. They won't, as I say, they will only last a few laps when they do use them in the race. We've still got all the other compounds, but Ferrari will be pleased with that time they put up today on the timing sheets. Daniel Ricciardo behind Sebastian Vettel in second fastest, and third fastest was Sergio Perez, who was just talking here. But he was on some softer tyres than the Mercedes. The Mercedes in fourth fastest, but on the medium compound tyres. So we've yet to see really what's under the chassis of the W07, and when they put on those purple tyres, I expect them to be flying to the top of the timesheets, and we'll see whether or not Ferrari can really challenge them this season. But we'll be back for a third day of testing here tomorrow, and we've got some driver swaps tomorrow going on as well. Kimi Raikkonen will be getting in that Ferrari for his first taste of the W07 back here in Barcelona.
Thanks, Rachel.